Welcome to the Panic Button, everyone. I'm Nina. JoJo Siwa just recently came out and said that when she was a minor, she was pressured to come out as a lesbian by the LGBTQ. And I'd like to hear more about it. Let's listen.
Back at the age of 17, JoJo Siwa came out to the public as a lesbian. And in recent months, we have discovered she no longer identifies that way at the age of 22. And she is in a public relationship with Chris Hughes, who she met on the set of Celebrity Big Brother. This has been incredibly controversial for people who are fans of her, people who are haters alike, and some people consider it hypocritical. Much of the LGBTQ community is lashing out at her for denying her true identity as a lesbian, and they're saying she needs to come back out of the closet. Miley Cyrus was one of those people who joked about it. But I saw a recent TMZ video where they interviewed JoJo about her new relationship and all of the commentary on it. And she is quite literally glowing, and it's not just the light that they're blaring onto her face. She can't stop smiling. She is even dressing in a different way. She just looks more conventionally attractive. She's not going around in costumes all the time with rainbows everywhere. She seems to be really growing up into her own and becoming an adult and maturing. And her response to all of this backlash is, I think, quite mature. She's not lashing out back at these people. She just thinks that her relationship should speak for itself. And I want to play this video. About 40 seconds in is when she comments on it.
Okay, here we go.
The thing is love is a beautiful rainbow, and I think that the LGBTQIA community needs to remember that love is love, and I think the hate from within the community is something that I've learned a lot from, and I think that a lot of people get to grow from, and I'm one of those people, but I think that it just, again, I get to be an example of love is love, you can be happy, and
Hi, Divas, how are you guys?
talking about how love is love.
Oh, okay.
yeah.
So on that note, I do want to ask though about the Miley Cyrus comment.
Oh,
the
yeah,
joke
my
she
gosh.
made about- what I know you said you DM'd her and
I did.
she responded. Have you guys
Yes.
talked more since then? Are you upset with her about that or?
Oh God, no, I couldn't. No love lost at all. She's Miley Cyrus. I grew up loving her. I'll forever love her.
Things seem to be moving pretty fast with you and Chris. You know, what's that relationship like? We we're open to this relationship very soon. We saw a lot very quickly.
I mean, listen, he is my favorite person in the world.
You look happy too, by the way.
Thank you. It's beautiful. It kind of radiates. He's my favorite person, and I'm very grateful and very happy.
I was gonna say, last time I talked to you,
You guys are very good at his job.
talked about your marriage. You already had like a best man picked out and everything.
I do have my best man picked out. I do.
So any thoughts of marriage here with Chris or?
So many thoughts.
Okay, is this the new car? The new car is great.
Yeah, that guy's very good at his job.
Yeah, definitely props to him for getting the comment. But she's beaming. I mean, you can tell she's happier when she's now in a relationship with a man. And I think this is the natural way of things. And now she has just done an interview with Daily Mail talking about the pressure she faced from the gay community to join the cult, essentially. She said, I was pressured into calling myself a lesbian, and she told the truth about her relationship with Chris Hughes and the ex, Kath Ebbs, who she...
I think that maybe one of the reasons why she was pressured to come out as a lesbian is because being bi just isn't as special as coming out as gay or lesbian, because if you come out as gay or lesbian, that's more hardcore. You're hardcore in the group. So, yeah, being bi, it's halfway to straight, halfway to gay. It's not like going all in. And if she wanted to make a big impact, she would have had to have gone all in on this LGBTQ thing to have the optics of her being a gay icon or whatever the hell. But pushing someone to come out as a lesbian and then that person who identifies as a lesbian ends up dating a man, that doesn't make the LGBTQ look too great. Because it shows that lesbians can date men, which in my personal opinion doesn't make any damn sense whatsoever. But within the LGBTQ blah blah and their gender ideology nonsense, I would assume they would be more accepting because they're the ones that always say sexuality is fluid. But we can't always be inclusive when it comes to sexuality. See, sexuality is very exclusive. If a woman is a lesbian, she only dates women. She's not attracted to and never will be in love with a man. And the same thing with a gay man. Never going to fall in love with, never going to be sexually attracted to a woman. That's exclusive, and that's on purpose. And same thing with straight. But if we make things so inclusive like gay and lesbian, then everything is just bi. Everything is fluid, and anything that you state you are really means nothing because there are no solid definitions.
Publicly dumped who is a female that identifies as non-binary. So basically, this is the comment that's going viral from it. She said, when I came out at 17, I said, I'm pansexual because I don't care about gender. But then I kind of boxed myself in and I said, I'm a lesbian. And I think I did that because...
Pansexual means you have the word sex in the word you're using. Pansexual. You're not saying pangenderable. Pangenderal. You're saying pansexual. You're using the word sex. Sex meaning penis, vagina, male, female. Pansexual just means bi. I don't know. They change words for certain things and then leave words and change definitions for other things. I don't get it. Do you guys get it? Because I don't.
Because of pressure, in a weird way, I think it came a little bit from inside the LGBTQ community at times. From people I know, from partners I've had, you just get put in this world where you feel like, because you've now said, I'm a lesbian, you have to be a lesbian. And the truth is, sexuality is fluid.
There we go.
So she's not entirely understanding the...
If you're saying you're a lesbian, then don't be surprised when people get mad when you come out as not being a lesbian. If you didn't know who you were, you just should have said you were bi. And yes, sexuality is fluid, but not for gays, lesbians, and straights. Just because gender comes into it doesn't mean that sex is completely eradicated. If you identify as a gender, you still have the sex. Like if you're a man, your biological sex is a male, but you identify and your gender is female, and you are having sex with a man, you are having homosexual relations, gay relations. Gender has nothing to do with it. This idea of who you are has nothing to do with the reality of your sex. And that's the core of sexuality. Sex, penis, vagina, born as male, born as female, sex, not gender. You want to start changing definitions, your whole thing is going to be meaningless. And people aren't going to understand what the fuck you're talking about. You're talking about, yeah, we're for lesbians. Well, what is a lesbian? Can you give me an idea of what a lesbian is to you so I can understand, like, if I should take you seriously or not? Because if you're saying that lesbians can date men who think they're women, well, then you're really not for lesbians. You're kind of homophobic.
Point of this, I think she was kind of groomed into identifying as gay for a lot of different reasons. One of them being that she's a child star who was raised on a reality TV show and needed to differentiate herself. There is a huge marketing boost from identifying as gay that she experienced the fruits of. There was also her strange friendship with Colleen Ballinger, who ran the...
I forgot about that. Holy crap.
Yeah, the Miranda Sings YouTube channel. She had inappropriately close friendships with a lot of her fans, JoJo Siwa being just one of them, and a lot of people blamed Colleen Ballinger for that. JoJo Siwa, eventually identifying as gay, perhaps Colleen's influence had something to do with that. There was also details about Colleen sharing, way too much about her sex life with her husband and her own fan base.
That feels like a lifetime ago. Is that 2022?
Yeah, but they were incredibly close for a long time when JoJo Siwa was still a child, which I think is something to raise an eyebrow at the very least. But JoJo says her relationship with Chris Hughes, according according to some people, it's PR. They're faking it for attention.
I mean, at the very least, it's been like 2 seconds. It's been like a single skip and a hop, and they're like asking her about marriage, which is just leading from the journalists.
I think it's evident from the way she is acting in that interview alone that this isn't just a PR relationship that they're faking for headlines. She also told The Guardian, it's not platonic anymore. It's been a beautiful development, connection, and I'm absolutely head over heels for him, and he feels the same way. She says anyone who suggests their relationship is a PR stunt is only telling on themselves. Clearly, you've never been around us. I won't speak for him, but for me personally, the happiness in my life just radiates off of me right now. Literally yesterday, I've never been in more pain from smiling so much. And the gays just can't stand it.
I mean, I think that...
it's all love is love until someone is happy in a straight relationship and isn't part of their cult anymore.
I don't know what's true here, but I'm just going to not take anyone's word for any of it. You could be 110% right, but everybody's always, how much of Hollywood is some type of planned relationship. I don't know if that's what this is, but,
I just believe that if she had any real leadership or authority or like care in her life... No, her parents, her friends, people who actually know her, they would have advised her not to publicly label herself and align herself with this quote-unquote community, which, of course, doesn't care about you as a person. They only care about what you represent in the media. They would have advised her not to do that in the first place, especially at such a young age.
I mean, you just don't talk about it at all.
Yes, and that then... encouraged her to lean into it and make it her entire brand. Just months ago, she was seen wearing a jacket that says "Protect Trans Kids" on the back. Yeah. And, some people are saying this is blatant hypocrisy.
That does not mean she doesn't still believe that, like she said.
No, I'm not saying it does. Yeah. I think she would still defend that decision, but people are saying this is hypocrisy from JoJo Siwa, saying that she's young and still figuring herself out. Meanwhile, she isn't willing to see the connection between that, her own situation, and that of young children who are misdiagnosed with gender dysphoria because they are young and still figuring themselves out. I think that's a revelation that she could possibly still come to down the line.
I don't believe that she'll ever do that. Even if she comes to that realization that's never going to come out in public, she'll be labeled and it'll end her career before it even starts.
It's never something that she'll
never talk about it.
Be advised to talk about publicly. Certainly she would become public enemy number one after.
The LGBTQ is eating their own, and their inconsistencies and hypocrisies really shine a light onto how this community won't last. The community is upset with JoJo Siwa for being in a straight relationship when she identified as a lesbian. But they're the ones that say that lesbians can date trans women. So would they be cool if Chris all of a sudden just identified as a woman but didn't change anything about himself? Just stayed the regular dude he is. Yeah, you know what? Funny enough, I think they would be cool with their relationship because it abides by their ideology. But don't you understand? Like, can you see how that sounds so retarded? Our gay rights are based off of these definitions. And funny enough, the people who want to keep gay rights are the ones who are shitting all over it. And if we're not careful, we'll eventually lose those rights. But they won't care because they're not technically in the community. They identify into the community. See, I don't identify into the community, but technically I'm a part of it because I am a lesbian. I don't identify as a lesbian. I just am one. Like, I don't identify as female. I just am a female. It's the same thing. But these people are just so, they're off their rocker. They're absolutely crazy. They don't see how retarded they look and sound and how this will be a complete detriment to the cause, to the rights. And people be like, well, you're taking it like way too far. They're not going to get rid of gay rights and stuff like that. It's like, well, you're giving them a lot of ammunition. You're giving a lot of those people who don't want gay marriage, you're giving them a lot of ammunition to take us down. It's just a mess. I don't even know where to conclude this video. Like, where do you go from here? Are we fucked? Possibly. Is it people like me? Is it my fault? No. Is it people who are identifying into the community? Was like 90% of them? yeah, inclusivity can be a detriment to whatever group you're in. You get so inclusive, you end up involving everyone and every definition, and none of it matters or makes sense. And yeah, that's all I got for this. The frustration, it's building. I don't even know. You got any thoughts? What's your opinion on this? I'm not really going to blame JoJo Siwa that much for this because she was a minor when this took place. But she's an adult now, and she has been an adult since she kept saying she was a lesbian. So, yeah, she is kind of at fault. I mean, she is still parroting the gender ideology talking points. Well, good luck to you. Let me know how that works out for you. I'm sure it's going to be great. See ya.